Hello, happy thinkers, and welcome to the channel. Again, my name is Melissa, and again, I welcome you. But while I have your attention, real quick, I just want to ask, have you been feeling overwhelmed lately, or do you know how to be productive to get things done? Maybe you need a little boost to complete a certain task you've been looking to do. Maybe you need to find a little more scheduling routine or something so you can get done what you need to get done. But guess what? You're not alone. And we are going to be talking about that today. This is a daily struggle for many people. But I'm going to give you 8 easy steps that you can implement into your day to find pleasure and less stress so that you can be more productive. The steps can be used for college students, stay-at-home moms and dads, business owners, grandparents, singles, whatever. It's for whomever and whatever you do. So before we start, though, again, let me introduce myself. My name is Melissa, and I'm the creator of Think Me First and Rock Your Vibe. Below, you can find all my information on where to find me. We have courses and guides and things like that that you can sign up for. And then, if you could give me a thumbs up if you like this video, that drives our algorithms up so that we can be seen with more people. Hit the subscribe bar below, and then if you hit the notification bell, then you will be notified every time we do upload a video, which is every Wednesday at 7 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. And I say that because we shoot everything live and raw for WTF, also known as Wednesday Thought Forum. And the videos drop after we shoot live, available for replay. Okay. So without further ado, let's get to these 8 easy steps to implement into your day so that you can feel and be more productive. So first, I'm going to give you a backstory. This video is inspired by my son, who is in college, and he reads a lot of my articles and listens to some of my blogs. And he brought to my attention this very particular topic, and more thought about it, I'm like, it could really apply to a lot of people. But it's one big struggle that he and his college friends see. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do that because, again, it applies to a much broader audience and not just a single group. So without further ado, again, let's go ahead and keep calm and produce on. So the first one is going to be about time management, or to create a study schedule. Doesn't have to be study. Again, it's just I'm kind of gearing this towards college kids, but it could be any kind of schedule for moms, dads, again, grandparents, whomever. But one tool that I really used to create this time management schedule for me is a tool called Trello, and you can get it on your laptop, and you can also find it on your phone. You can get an app for your phone, but it's kind of nice because it organizes your thoughts. There's checklists. You can color code things. You can put things for week, things goals you want to do. There's areas for, you could do things each day of the week, like a checklist. You can juggle all kinds of different things, and it kind of manages your time, and you can check things off and they disappear as you do them. So it's a really good tool, and it's free. All right. Because like myself, I'm raising teenagers. I'm a wife. I work a 9-to-5 job, and 24 hours is just not. Ooh, sorry about that. I just hit you guys. 24 hours is just not a lot of time for a lot of us, right? I'm sure I'm not in the same boat. But again, I like using Trello because it's just an organization board where everything is right there. Whether you are a college student, software, project management, real estate management, lesson planning, accounting, web design, gaming, there's all kinds of different things that it can use, and it's really cool. Now, those of you that maybe your paper planners or stuff, you have those out there as well. One of my favorites is Agenda 52, but there's all kinds of different paper planners out there as well. Number 2 is going to be take breaks in order to be more productive, right? So taking breaks is very crucial because it gives our mind a little bit of time to just kind of rest before we start whatever project it is again. Some people feel more productive in the mornings, while others may feel productive in mid-afternoon, while others may feel more productive at night. I'm a morning person, so after lunch, I ain't worth a crap, to be honest. So, I try to get my work done or my hardest work done in the morning time. So that's one thing you want to do is plan for your hardest and most difficult tasks during this time schedule where you are most alert and you do your best work. And again, it's all about style and preference. All right. With that being said, you still need to take breaks. So, what is an ideal break for studies or anything? Um, After I did a couple researched a couple of things on studies and breaks, and the average it came to is like if you are going to be doing a certain task or project for an hour, then it's good to take a 5 or 15 minute break within that hour. But if you're going to be working longer, like 2 to 4 hours or longer, then it says to take like a 30-minute break every 2 to 4 hours. Again, it's depending on your task, find what works for you, but those are just kind of guidelines. And then here is an interesting thought. I heard this on a podcast, and it really makes sense to me. But it says you should do something productive during your break. And I thought, well, that's kind of defeating the purpose because you're taking a break so your mind can rest. But here's what they said. To be more productive during your break, you may take a walk or do some stretching or take a shower, call a family member, friends, meditate, maybe power nap, whatever it takes to take your mind off of the task at hand, but it's still benefiting you mentally and physically. So I didn't even think about that, but very good point. So just be creative with your outlets, okay? Because when you work for long stretches of time without breaks, it's going to lead to stress and being overwhelmed and just being exhausted. So take your breaks so that you can refresh your mind, replenish your mental resources, and this helps you become more creative and more productive. Number 3 is find a quiet space. And believe it or not, a lot can be accomplished, and you can be more productive if you have a quiet or work or study space. So I know with my current job, I have a phone ringing in my ear all the time and multitasking all the time for 8 hours. And then when I do some work on Saturdays, I can really kick a lot out because I don't have anything. It's just very silent, don't have to worry about the phone or anything. So I can do a lot of different work. So that is one example. Um, and then another example is when I was studying for insurance education, it's a very, very dry topics and it was very boring, but I had to stay focused. I was raising kids, and so there was always a lot of background noise, but I managed to study. And interesting enough, when I went in to take my test, it was like so quiet. And it really drove me nuts. It was very hard for me to focus on the test because I was used to that background noise. So another importance of silence, especially if you are a test taker, you guys in college, if you're in fraternities, sororities, or maybe partying all the time and you have that background noise, but when you actually sit in a physical environment where it's quiet, it may be a little disturbing for you. But find that quiet space when you study. And that does mean to turn off electronic devices that are going to, disturb you and distract you. So make sure you do that. So that's number 3. Number 4, again, this is going to go towards the college students, but us as adults in the work world or whatever, we can apply this as well. But you might try free tutoring or work study for the college kids. And then for the adults, it would be delegating. So when I say free tutoring, for those of you that are in college or maybe even taking up a trade or learning another business or something like that, you might try a free tutoring service. Right now, I work with a free service to enhance my business. So because that takes a lot of the guesswork out, instead of your wheels spinning round and round and you have no clue where to go, if you have this guidance from a tutor or a mentor, then that's being more productive because you're using your time more wisely. As for those that need to delegate, like working world parents and things of that nature, have someone pick the kids up so you can go do the laundry, or maybe have someone write that code for your little project so you can make sure you're getting the big presentation done. Or maybe you pick up groceries for your spouse so they can pick up your mom from the airport. Those are just all different ways to be productive as well. Number 5 is going to be to procrastinate or not to procrastinate. Well, there's 2 answers for that. Excuse me. So we all know that procrastination, we've all done it at one point or another. I used to do it a lot, but it can be used in a positive or a negative way. So let's start with the negative first. Some people can get easily distracted from the things that they want to do or things that they need to get done. And then they put it off to do something else. And then at the end of the day, guess what? They struggle to get whatever it is they need to get done. And then they end up being stressed or making errors because they're rushing through it. But, something to keep in mind is if you do this frequently, it's going to overtake your time. And then you're going to start creating a lot of stress for yourself. And it's just going to trickle downhill. It's not fun. Trust me, it is not fun. So to avoid procrastination, just create a to-do list and then check things off as you do them. Because then not only are they going to be done and completed, you're going to be less stressed, but you also get a little sense of gratification every time you check one of those off. And as you reach each little goal, you feel a lot more worthy of your time. So make sure you do that because you get a lot of gratification and satisfaction out of that. I can't talk this evening. I'm so sorry. But the more you do this, the less you procrastinate. But then we have the positive side of procrastination. And I used to do this as well, and I was good at it. But another form of procrastination can simply be due to lack of confidence, or I'm sorry, I'm going back to the negative. I'm sorry. So procrastination can also be done because of lack of confidence, or there's going to be a conflict, so you just keep putting it off and putting it off. So then you just kind of need to take this screw it approach and just say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get it done, and that way I don't have to stress about it anymore, whether it goes right or wrong. I'm just going to get it done. And that's just developing a mindset so that you can just be less stressed, and it takes a lot of stress or weight off your shoulders. Okay, now I'm going to get to the positive one, and this was me too, because this is a good procrastination. It worked for me anyways. But as a writer, I have to be in the mood to write. So, my best pieces are probably when I'm under pressure to get something done. Like I wanted to blog every Sunday. So my best thing was to procrastinate. If I didn't feel like writing, then I would wait till the last minute and I would do it, and I could do it well. But, so that's a good form of procrastination, because maybe you need that extra pressure. Again, if I'm not motivated to write, it's just not going to happen. But as I get closer to my deadline, I'm committed to doing it, so I know it's going to get done. So that is kind of a good way that you can use procrastination, but I would not recommend it all the time, because again, it does cause a lot of stress and overwhelm. Number 6 is going to be to not stress the small things. So we have a lot of big things and small things happening in our lives, and we need to prioritize those, again, so we don't get stressed and overwhelmed. But in order to accomplish some of the big things, we can't stress the small things. Let's say, for example, like little Johnny's out playing on a playground. He comes in and he's hurt and he's really upset. And, you're trying to get laundry done, and he just wants a little bit of comfort for you. Well, you don't have a lot more time left in the day, but guess what? The dishes can wait. And time with him, because he'll be there tomorrow. So don't stress those small things. Let's say you're invited to have coffee with a friend and you need to take the break. Take the break and go have coffee with your friends. If you need to study for the big test tomorrow, then set aside time so that you can do that instead of maybe doing a smaller assignment. At the end of the day, remember, we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to underestimate how much time we may or may not have. It just happens. So what you do is you just learn, you pick up from there and move on. Okay. I mean, with stress, again, there comes a lot of lack of focus. There's exhaustion. You're tired, and you can't always make your best decisions. Number 7 is going to be know when to say no. And I have a friend who puts this very much in perspective. No can be a complete sentence, and you don't have to provide an explanation. I used to be one of those people that couldn't say no to anyone. I did not value my time for myself. I placed other people's needs before my own. And with this lack of self respect, it wasn't done intentionally, but regardless, I was not productive. I was for other people, but I wasn't for myself. And I felt like I was doing things like haphazardly and not to my potential because I was overwhelmed because I was doing so many things for other people. So gradually, I learned to say no to others, and when I needed to be productive. And you can deliver this message in a nice and polite way, and people will understand. But you got to keep your own interests in mind so that you don't cause stress for yourself. And finally, the last step is to get appropriate sleep. I do have a whole article on sleeping. If you go to my blog at thinkmefirst.com and just type in sleep, it will pop up. But it's very important that we get appropriate sleep if we plan on being productive. Um, your brain, it just needs to sleep. It needs sleep to re-energize, to rest, regroup. When you're sleep deprived, you make very poor decisions. You can't focus well, and then you become even more tired and then make even more errors that set you back even further. So, to do your best work, just make sure you get the appropriate amount of sleep, especially in that college environment. But even as a parent, we have lack of sleep, and even if you're not parents and you have the busy job, I mean, we all come across times that we have lack of sleep. So those are 8 steps that you can incorporate into your day. Remember, you just need to make them a habit, and a habit usually takes 21 days, consecutive days, to practice this, to make it as a new habit. So just recognize that and give yourself time and be patient when it comes to being productive or with anything where you're trying to develop a new habit. But if you have any other ideas to get those brain juices flowing, please drop them in the comments below. And, this just helps others out. But as always, I love you guys. I appreciate all your love, your support, your comments. But if there's anything I can do for you, again, drop that in the comments below too, and we'll talk about it. But until then, remember, think me first. It's not selfish. Again, I can't talk, but it is necessary. Everyone, you guys have a good evening. Bye. Okay, I'm done, Ethan.
I know.